Yo, this is Tibbs and you're locked into Sound Files.
Drop the bass.
MK Charlie, anybody rapping a man then bless doggy. Cause we tryna do the right thing. Want a cake by the ice and is living in a world where nobody fighting until that day. Tibbs keep on writing.
I started rapping when I was in school, basically. My elder brother was a rapper. The governor, he used to be in the One Crew, and he was like a battle MC. So back in them days, there was quite a few battles going on. The big one was the Westwood in Temple and whatnot, and he won that quite a few times, man. And it was inspiring to see one of the man them go through and do their thing. So I kind of started picking it up. There was a few other lads that was doing their thing. So we had our own little crew from my school, D&K, and then there was a few other lads like in the school next to us that was doing their thing. The main one was Sway, like, and one of my brothers was giving me a tape of his and was like, my man's alright still, he can par, innit, he can move. But yeah, so we all joined up and we kind of did the One Crew thing. We used to just spit, do ciphers and just vibes it out really, like back in the day, you know. And then yeah, I kind of got a bit naughty or whatever. I was doing my thing differently. I met up with Skinny and them, kind of left them lot, went and did the Mud Fam thing. Yeah, started kind of doing more solo stuff. Put out a few mixtapes, but I was always around a lot of MCs coming from like a cypher kind of background. So a lot of my mixtapes was heavily featured with artists, you know. But like the first one was North Stars Rising, and that was just a compilation of the man them in the North that I thought wasn't really doing their thing. So we had a lot of people on there that are doing well now, like Sway, Sincere, Troll Pain, Low Task Force was on there, loads of people was on there, do you know what I mean? And we did a couple more. So I've had Biggs. I've had lots of people that are doing now well on my mixtapes back in the day. Just because it was a North London thing, we was trying to spread the vibe. I met Rodney P in the studio, did a couple of tunes with him. And he was like, yeah, come on the road with me, like. So he took me on the road with him, I did a couple of tours with him, and that kind of opened up my mind to, like, he took me out of London, he took me out of England, like Europe, places where, as a youth from the hood, you don't really get out of even London that much, you know. So that kind of opened my mind and made me look at what I'm writing about differently and what you can actually do with the whole thing, you know. Like, well, it's just bigger than us. As an artist, it's about the listener. It's not just about me, you know. It's about the listener. So I feel like if the visual has got to be a certain way to get you to listen to my track, I'm happy to do that visual, you know. Like, I'm happy to work my art to fit into that society. And I think that's kind of the main thing with pushing the singles a certain way, not just doing it kind of underground. It's like there's a lot more kids involved. The platform's different now, you know. So we're just trying to work it that way. I was in the studio. I've been working in our studio in Hornsey, like Show and Prove studio. So I kind of did the whole mixtape there and stuff. And it's a complex with loads of different studios in it. And Sway must have been in one of the other ones. And he passed tunes in the lobby, like, I said, oh, my blood, like, it's been a little while since I've seen him, you know? So come to see what I'm doing. So he came in, I did a little listen, and I was like, yeah, I think you'd fit well on that one. There was a verse, last verse was there, you know? And yeah, he took it away, come back, about 2 weeks, banged it out, like, you know what I mean? Went to check the video, he was really cool about it still. It was just like, we go back a long way, so it was kind of easy, you know? I mean, with the Black Dynamite video, that's kind of like taking a part of the Super Tibbs concept, saying, you know, like, man's back. And man's got superpowers, man feels energized, and I'm so energized that if I touch that show over there, it's gonna blow up kind of thing. Yeah. That was kind of the vibe with that. Lost Boys production video, they're really good with like effects and stuff, do you know what I mean? And I originally took the idea from a film called Black Dynamite. Like, I don't know if you seen it. It's like a mad blaxploitation comedy with this guy called Michael J. White. He's a really good martial artist. I like my martial arts. And it's just basically like a Shaft who does martial arts. Like, do you know what I mean? So he's running around saving the world from the man. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we kind of just took a little bit from that kind of thing. So you're just a normal brother, but you're doing super things, like, do you know what I mean? Okay, the mixtape, been pushing it back a little bit, but it's coming out in January, man. It's definitely coming out in January. We've got one more single to drop. just finished shooting the video and the remix video on the weekend. It's a party tune. It's the party tune off the ting, like, you know what I'm saying? It's called Wobble, produced by Show and Prove. Loads of girls in the video. It's like, we're gonna have a bit of fun with this one, do you know what I mean? So yeah, January for the mixtape. We got Sway, we got Big Ben, we got Styler, Diablo. We got some good remix features. I'm not gonna let them all out of the bag right now. Probably be better for you to see us on the remix of Wobble. And that's it really. I kind of like to work with artists that I really like, really feel and connect with. And because I've been away for so long, I wasn't really in touch with a lot of people. So, you know, I just kind of drew for who I felt and who was available at the time. So I think on the next project, I've been working with a hell of a lot of artists over the last 6 months. On the next project, there's going to be a lot more features. But for right now, I think it was good for people to come back and hear my story, hear where I've been, especially for my supporters, hear where I've been, and kind of like, yeah, grasp what the new era is. I think the UK scene is in a really good place right now, man. I think it's in a good place. I think music in general is in a good place, you know? Like, I listen to all genres, and for the last couple of years, hip-hop's been kind of falling back, you know, because of certain of the things that's going on, but Saigon just released something sick. Freddie Gibbs is out there. There's a lot of underground artists that are still like doing their thing really well, and I think because of the internet and the availability of music now, the excuses ain't really valid. Like, oh, you can just listen to the Little Waynes and all that. If you go onto the internet and you just look for 5 minutes, you can find some real shit. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think that for music, it's great. On the UK scene, I think that there's a lot more unity these days. Like when I was coming up on the UK hip hop scene, it was like the Chesters and the Rodney Pease, and them was like idols that people couldn't get to, couldn't even touch. Like, do you know what I mean? Where now, Twitter, whatnot, it's just not that no more, you know? And I think with the Grind Boys, they've set a good example and a good precedent where if you work together, like the results will be 100 times better. Like, it's your boy Tibbs from Soul. You can check out everything from me at www.ti2bs.com. That's spelled Ti2bs.com. And you're now chilling, listening, locked into Sound of Fouls. Zup.